Well, hello everybody! Welcome back to G-Bear's Off-Grid Ways, a homestead in the desert. And I'm going to do a video here that I promised for Sherry the Secretary, or a lady in the desert up there in Desert Rest, Nevada. So, I know she just ordered one because she asked me for the particulars on it. So she's going to get one of these units. Now, all of the 12-volt batteries that she has all have to be charged up to 100% before she can use them. So, in order to do that, without buying a 12-volt 20-amp charger or a 12-volt 15-amp charger or whatever, she can do it with a charge controller. Now, how are we going to do that, right? All right. So, since you don't really have to have super long cables or heavy duty wire going from the charge controller to the battery just to charge them, you can make up a small charge cable, and if it's too much for you to put together, Sherry, let me know and I will make one up out of some wire I have and mail it to you in an envelope. So it'll be a short wire. It won't be very long. It'll probably be about as long as these, which are maybe, I don't know, 2 feet or so. All right, so how are you going to do that? What I use a lot is this wire right here, and this is for landscape lighting. Okay, low voltage landscape lighting. And this is direct burial. You can bury it directly in the ground and it holds up even if it's buried. You don't want to put it anywhere where you're going to strike it with a shovel and cut it in half later, but this one is only a 14 gauge, okay? And if you're going to do it, you want to get one that's a 12 gauge, but I just happen to have some that somebody gave me in 14 gauge. All right, so it says right on here, right there, direct burial, okay? And if we can get down to some of the other stuff here. Okay, so it says right here, 14 AWG. Okay, so if you can get it to 12, you'd be better off. But 14 will work. So, you'll notice that one side of the wiring has printing on it, and that printing will be consistent all the way through the whole roll of wire. All right, so I use that one that has a printing on it as the positive. See, as you can see right here, there's the positive of the solar coming in, and there's the positive with the wire, the printing on it, and that's coming from the solar panel. That was just an extension, temporary extension that I made up just to quickly get a charge going to this battery. But you won't be dealing with that. You'll be dealing with the battery side, okay? So, on the battery side, you would put the one that has the writing on it in the positive side here. Positive side for the battery. Remember, with all charge controllers, you hook up the battery first, solar second. You have to do that, because there's a computer inside of these, and hooking the battery up first tells the computer what voltage you're going to use. Now this can be used for 12 or 24 volts. So we're going to use it for 12 volts for charging. All right. So 12 volts maximum is 600 watts of solar input, or 100 volts. So it tells you right on the unit what you can do. Okay, maximum charge current is going to be 40 amp. Load current 20 amp. Now you can charge off of the load side right here, but you're not going to do that because it's not very controllable. You're going to use the battery side. So you're going to set up this cable, and on the second side that has the printing on it, that will be your positive side. So you're going to need an M8 ring terminal by, this is 12 gauge, but it'll work on a 14. I just fold the wire once to double it up and then slip it in there and crimp it on. and you split this right down the middle and stretch it out as wide as you need it, okay? As you can see, I did here. I split it down the middle, just down to this point right there, so that I could get it set up into the solar side. But we're going to be using battery, remember that. So you're going to put the positive side on the positive, the negative side, the black one on the negative, and then on the other side of that, make it about 2 foot long. Take 2 of these M8 ring terminals. The reason they have to be M8 by 12 or 14 is because it's going to go on that wire and get crimped on, and then it has to be able to fit around the battery terminal bolt, okay? So you'll have to get 2 of these. Alright, now you can also, if you want to make it easier to spot and less confusing, I know you bought some shrink tubing. So if you've got some red and black shrink tubing, you can put those over the ends on the tops here and shrink down positive with the red one and the negative with the black one. Alright, another thing you're going to need, very important, is a good pair of crimpers and strippers. Don't get a cheap pair, that just junk pair. Get a good pair like this one, okay? Now what I consider a good pair is for the tips, right here on the tips. They have like needle nose pliers, okay? You can see that right there. That's great for when you have to grab a wire and insert it into a tight area. So you got a long pair of needle nose to do that with. Alright? You want your strippers to be up here, not down here. Okay, that's important. The reason for that is you're holding them by the insulated handles, and you strip it up here, not through over here. Your crimps areas is down here. So when you're ready to crimp your ring terminal on, you'll put it on here. Now, a little thing that a lot of people make a mistake on. If you'll notice, on the first one, I hate when it blurs like that. On the first one right here, you can see it's got the male nub on this side, goes into the female dip on that side, okay? Well, when you're crimping, you want the male nub to be on the bottom side of the crimp, not on the top. It's split up here, okay? That's where the split goes down, where they made the loop on there. You want to put that indentation on the back side of this and hold those other two together in the female loop side, all right? So, just a little hint on that. So, you make yourself a piece of this. You hook it up to your battery. Positive, red to positive, black to negative. And you get it, then you can put your solar panel in. Whether you're going to use 1 or 2 solar panels just to be a charger is up to you. But I would put 2 solar panels, like those 100-watt solar panels right there. Put 2 of those in series, like I did. So you got the positive of panel 1 going to the negative of panel 2. And then you use positive of panel 2 and negative of panel 1. So you have 200 watts coming in, but you upped the voltage that's coming in off of. So if each one of those is 21 volts, now you're putting in 40 volts. And that means you can use smaller wire. Remember, the higher the amps, the bigger the wire, and that's where you spend money, is on copper. All right? So if your volts are higher, and you can stay with a smaller wire, and the 14 gauge wire will work. All right? So like I said, if you need some, let me know, and I'll be glad to cut off a 2 or 3 foot piece and send it to you. You're going to charge each battery one at a time until you see what it says here. When it's showing that you've got solar coming into the battery and you're at 14.1, you're not fully charged, because a full charged battery is going to be around 14.6. All right, so you'll want to see that up to around 14.6 to have a fully charged battery. And then you will take the 2 cables off of the battery, switch it to the next one. But before you do that, you're going to want to disconnect your solar, because you always want to have battery connected first, solar connected second. Okay? So you always have to disconnect your solar. Now you can put a switch in the solar, so you can just flip the switch and shut it off. And then you don't have to disconnect the wires each time and redo them. So in order to do that, the switch goes on any one of the wires, whether it's positive or negative. So you'd have the two, you can just use a regular light switch for a house. You got 2 screws on the light switch. So you take the positive out of here, you wrap it around one of the screws and tighten that down. Then take a short piece of this one side of this wire, I don't know, say 6 inches or so, strip the 2 ends, put one end in the positive and connect the other end to the light switch, the second screw on the light switch. So all the light switch does is connect and disconnect, connect and disconnect. So all it does is make that one wire connected or disconnected. So when you flip it off, you got it to the off side, it's disconnected and there's no solar coming in. Another thing you want to remember is with solar panels, you do not want to be connecting and disconnecting those under load. And by under load, it means having them in sun, when the sun is beating on them. So you have to cover them with a blanket or a cardboard box or something like that before you connect or disconnect solar panels. Because inside of those boxes on there are diodes that prevent backflow at nighttime. If you didn't have those diodes in there, it would take the power from your battery and feed it back out through the solar panels and dissipate into the air and the atmosphere. So you don't want that. So they have diodes in there. Diodes are sensitive to being connected or disconnected on the load. So you could blow a diode on it and ruin your solar panel. So always make sure you cover your solar panels if the sun is out, or just wait until after dark to make your disconnection. If you charge a battery all through the day, the sun sets down, you can do your disconnects and put everything back together again, and then the next day you'll charge your next battery. And don't worry, they only lose about less than 3% of their charge per month just sitting there with no connection to them. So don't worry about it. You're not going to have a battery go dead before you get to the last battery to charge. You do have to charge each one fully before using it, so make sure you do that. All right? And then we'll get into wiring the batteries together in parallel so that you stay with 12 volts and you up the amp hours. So if you have 4 12 volt 100 amp hour batteries, you'll still have the 12.8 volts, but you're going to be up to 400 amp hours because you add the amps when you hook in parallel. You add the volts when you hook in series. All right. Hope that was enough for you. Comments and questions down below. This is G Bear. Thank you for joining me and signing off.